Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 carry picks that you'll see at TI. I want to go from rank 5 all the way to rank 1 and talk about the heroes that I think will be picked most at TI and also the heroes that I think are the best right now. And the reason why this is good for you is you'll know what to think when you see these heroes picked at TI, and you'll be able to largely pick these heroes in your pubs as well, as I will explain why they're good and generally what to do. By the way, guys, if you want to become absolutely broken, well, what you need to do is sign up to the GameLeap website down below right now. The reason why you should do that is because every single day we post a new video there. Content that you simply just will never get on YouTube, we post every single day to the website. It's really top tier stuff. I'm very proud of what I make over there. We also have other creators, many of my great friends who are top tier Dota players, creating guides about different heroes, different roles, different items, skill builds, talent builds, everything you need to know to get to the next rank. So if you feel a little bit lost, you're a little bit stuck, click the link down below. I'll see you guys there. And now let's get into the video. All right, coming in at number 5, we have Lifestealer. Lifestealer for me is just a very solid pick right now. The hero isn't insane, but it's just good. And that makes sense why it's at the 5 role. I definitely don't think this is a hero where you pick it in your pubs and all of a sudden you have top net worth every single game and you're absolutely dominating. But in the note of picking heroes for TI, if the enemy team opens with a Leshrac Sand King and you don't want to pick Animage because Animage is one of the worst heroes in Dota in my opinion, and actually almost in everyone's opinion, then you're probably just going to pick Lifestealer. This hero is just a very easy comfort pick for a lot of carry players, as the hero is very consistently in the meta, and as a result, it can be the same thing for you in your pubs. It's one of those heroes that if you understand the items to build on it, which right now I think is either Phase Armlet or Phase Maelstrom, something along those lines. And so all in all, I don't want to go too much into Lifestealer because it's a 51% winner hero on Dota 2 Pro Tracker. It's about the same on Dota Buff. So it's just going to end up being one of those 4 or 5 carries that you see being consistently picked at TI after your top 1 to 4 carries are simply banned out in the second phase or even sometimes in the first phase. Actually, potentially largely in the first phase, and I'll get into why that is later on in the video. Coming in at number 4 is Weaver. This is personally one of my favorite heroes to play right now. I just absolutely love it. The amount of impact you can have if you get ahead is insane. The only problem with Weaver at the highest of levels is you're going to see a lot more sentry control. It's a lot harder to close the gap with Sakuchi early on without taking a beating. And on top of that, what Weaver largely is weak against is chain stuns, right? Synergy, essentially, at all stages of the game. In the laning stage, he doesn't like when people trade at the same time, right? He doesn't even necessarily like 2v2s until he has bugs in multiple levels, right? But at level 1, early on into the lane, even at level 2, he likes to just play around Sakuchi. Hit you once, Sakuchi, hit you with Sakuchi, back up, hit you with Gemini attack, chill, last hit. When Gemini attack is back up, hit you again, maybe Sakuchi. He plays this like in and out chip game. It's not good when there's synergy, right? Well, it's not that it's not good, it's just less good. It's less good. So essentially Weaver is much worse as a result of this. But the reason why I think it'll be picked at TI is, once again, this is the meta is weird, but a lot of the top farming carries have simply been nerfed. There's a couple that haven't, and you know, what do you know? They're probably highest on this list, as I generally think the flash farming carries are quite good, but in all reality, when they get banned out, Weaver is a great backup, and on top of that, Weaver is just good at farming in a lot of games. Like, if he doesn't fall behind, which his laning stage is pretty solid as long as you pick him with some sort of a lane dominator, his laning stage is pretty solid, then he can flash farm, right? Gemini attack with a Maelstrom or my Meteor Hammer patented build on Weaver actually is really, really good at farming. Coming in at number 3 is Tiny. You guys probably aren't too surprised to see Tiny on this list. In fact, a lot of you guys might have even expected to see Tiny at number 1 on this list. To be fair, he recently just got nerfed. The tree grab went from a 16-second cooldown to a 19-second cooldown. And so the hero as a carry is still really good. I played it yesterday on stream. By the way, if you want to tune into my streams where I play solo queue, run in-houses, and do free coaching, click the link down below in the description. But Tiny is incredibly good right now at just being a tank. Like, the hero is a really good laner, right? So it's just a really good laner. I was trying to theory craft, like, what beats it in lane. A lot of the heroes that beat it in lane aren't really meta. Like, Necro was the top choice. he's not really in the meta. Maybe people will pick it just because of that, but even then, Tiny, it's not like Tiny gets like dumpstered by him, because Tree Grab just makes you a ranged hero early on. You have quite high base damage, and on top of that, you buy strength items for damage in lane, so you end up having like 800 HP. It's insanely hard to deal with. Another thing that I like to mention, it's a bit of a side note, but in the laning stage, whenever you have a hero that buys gauntlets and branches as their way of increasing their base damage to last hit, it gives you this strict advantage that other heroes, other agi and int heroes don't have, where you can backpack those items when you're popping a salve, and you actually get significantly more regen out of the salve when you do this. And so it's just massive for Tiny in the laning stage, because he devours salves. And so yeah, if you're not too familiar with this version of Tiny, generally what people are going is Echo Saber, right? Obviously for the double hit, into Shadow Blade. I personally like going Midas, but I get why people go Echo Saber. It's, it's mana and it's HP and a double hit. It's probably better. But then you go Shadow Blade after the Echo Saber. After that, people either go BKB or Satanic or Silver Edge, generally one of those 3 items. And from there, you buy your Shard at minute 20, which gives you unlimited Tree Grab auto attacks. Therefore, you flash farm like a maniac. Literally, this hero is one of the fastest farming heroes in Dota when it has that, because it literally has 2 AoE nukes to farm, and it has an AoE auto attack. Like, it just rips through the jungle and the lanes. It's insane. And in fights, it also rips through people in an AoE as well. And so yeah, Tiny is just, at TI, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. The reason why I can guarantee that you're gonna see it is it's one of those heroes that even when it's just decent, which I don't even think Tiny is necessarily broken as like an overall Dota hero. I think it's very good as a carry. But the thing is, even when it's only decent in the older roles, you still can flex it. So let's say, because the meta at TI develops as the tournament goes on, right? We know this, okay? As the tournament develops, the meta, the heroes that are getting picked change based on what's winning and what's popular at the tournament. This happens every single year. And so what I think might happen with Tiny is people will first phase pick it if it starts winning, right? If it starts winning, which I think it will, people will start first phase picking it as their carry, because it's a reliable carry that you can first phase pick. And then if it gets counterpicked by, let's say, a Necro, right? Somehow that hero pops into the meta for whatever reason, because of the Tiny, let's say, then people are just gonna flex it to mid or to the position 4, right? Which Tiny could always do. And all of a sudden, Tiny goes from a flash farming hero that needs to carry the fights and gets countered by a Necro ulti to this bursty hero that doesn't care if he gets Necro ultied as much, right? That isn't really too worried about that. In fact, in some regard, he even counters Necro because he kites in and out and does a ton of magical damage, like plays around that. So, like, that's the thing. That's why this hero is really good at TI. Tiny has, like, not always, but ever since the hero has kind of shifted into this roamer / mid, it's been quite popular at TI, and that's because it's flexible. Coming in at number 2 is Naga Siren. This hero's win rate on Dota 2 Pro Tracker is very high right now. It's actually a disturbing 58% on the Meta Plus tab, and I'm not too surprised. I definitely think that this hero has like a stupid amount of potential. Now, what I'm about to say is a little bit controversial. I actually think Meteor Hammer is the item on Naga. Now, I know, okay. I know, I hear you. You're mad already. You think I'm stupid. I'm telling you guys, Crown in the lane, Ring of Health in the lane makes you sustainable. Mana regen, so you never have to ship out any clarities, right? 2.5. And in the early team fights, Naga doesn't do very much, right? When she has a Yasha, she doesn't do very much. But Meteor Hammer gives you 8 all stats, so you're quite tanky. You have a bunch of agi, right? And obviously you can do this song into Meteor Hammer combo. This shit's broken. It's broken. I'm telling you, I know it's not going to happen because pros are blah, blah, blah. You know, they're stuck in their own ways, just like all humans are. But I'm telling you guys, I'm going to do it on stream. I'm going to run it. I'm going to rank 100 account. You will see. I will show all of you guys how it's done. But now, in all seriousness, Naga did just get recently buffed. Her Q cooldown is 25 seconds instead of 28, which is actually is massive. 3 seconds is legitimately huge because it's your best spell. Like, it is the spell. You need it to team fight, so when your illusions die, you have to wait for it to come back up. That 3 seconds could literally be the difference between saving yourself, killing 3 heroes, saving a teammate, etc. It's your spell for farming, right? Like, so is your farming spell. So 3 seconds is going to amp your farm by quite a bit because the duration is 26, so it really matters. And so yeah, this hero received a huge buff in that regard. I don't think people really understand how big it is. And on top of that, the Meteor Hammer build that I'm talking about, I mean, it's just so broken. But yeah, I do expect Naga to get picked at TI. And a large reason for that as well, which I want to quickly talk about, is I think Naga's best when you can pick heroes around it. I'm not necessarily that much of a fan of just like picking Naga straight up, unless it's like the best illusion hero game in Dota and Song is like gonna counter some meta or some chrono. Then like I like Naga as like a standalone. But a huge combo I love is Disruptor Naga. It's a good lane because like both heroes don't like really want to go for kills, but they both like chip down. So like you just play this like ultra chip down lane where you just bully, right? Send on illusions at the pause floor, Thunder Strike the pause floor, and then in team fights, right, you have the Song of the Siren into the right static field. So and static storm combo. So that combo is pretty insane. On top of that, then you pick like a mid lane storm to keep the tempo in the early game. You pick like an offlane Darkseer with a clockwork, and all of a sudden your team has this very nice team comp where they can play tempo with the Darkseer and the storm. They can, you know, shell the clockwork, he can kill people, and they can also fight at towers very easily because of flare and disruptor Q. So like a team comp like that, I think is very well rounded and works very well with the Naga in the team fights because of the vacuum, because of the static field, and fills Naga's gaps as well. And so pros will probably draft around it. And finally, what I think will be potentially, or the most picked hero at TI is Medusa. Now, the reason why I think this is because it's just the best farming hero in the game, in my opinion. On top of that, the win rates show for that as well, right? Even if you don't trust your boy Speed's opinion, which is kind of insane. But let's say you don't trust your boy Speed's opinion, all right? On Dota buff, so even just in pubs, this hero has a 52% win rate. Quite high, right? Quite high. On top of that, on Dota 2 Pro Tracker, on the Meta Plus tab, the hero has a 55% win rate. Over 1,000 games. It's one of the most picked heroes. 1,000 games has a 55% win rate, okay? This hero is obviously just good, and it's very easy to draft around. You don't have to pick some lane dominator with it, because it's just a pretty freaking good laner. You can pick most position 5s with it. You could pick Wyvern with it if you want a Wyvern. You could pick AA with it if you want an AA. You could pick Lich for whatever reason. You could pick Undying. Most 5s work with Dusa, because she can play very aggressive, or she can just AFK chill last hit with Mana Shield. Either works. So it's an easy to draft around here on the lane stage. It gives you this stupid simple game plan where you just create space for the Medusa. So like at TI, it's quite nice to be able to say, we know what we're doing. We don't have to go do some crazy play, hit some weird timer at minute 15 where we invade the jungle and then take Roche and so on and so on. They don't have to do that. You just have to let Medusa farm and then get an Aegis and then try to win the game. Like, that is why I think this hero will be most picked at TI, largely for the same reason as Tiny and Naga as well. These heroes being farming heroes makes the game a lot easier. They're hard to gank, farming heroes. Naga's probably the easiest out of all of them, but that's the thing. Medusa's hard to gank, so even if she gets ganked in the jungle, if she pops Stone Gaze and has a magic wand, she has like effectively like 2,000 HP and obviously then has Stone Gaze. And so yeah, I love this hero. As a result of this, I think it's a great hero just in Dota right now, and I think it's a really nice hero for these teams at TI. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be making more of these. I might make these for the other roles as well, depending on how this video does. So yeah, if you want to see me make this type of video for the exact other roles, comment that down below and like the video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace!
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.